Well, welcome again to another segment of Avatars Face to Face, a program designed with art and culture in mind, multicultural arts and culture specifically. And as we kind of go through our efforts to produce 22 segments of international art and culture, we are blessed today to have this feast that's before us, and we are blessed to have as our guest today Miss Marcia Morant, who is the principal chef, cook, and bottle washer of all of this. And we're going to go forward as we had in other programs, meaning we're going to talk about the cultural influence of that's in our foods, the making of these foods, and the presentation of it all. But I wanted to just greet you and say, how are you? Welcome to the show.
My pleasure. Good.
Thank you for taking the time and energy to put all of this together. And we're going to begin our program as we always do. And let's talk a little bit about the person. Let's talk about who Marcia Morant is. So share with us and share with the listening audience some of your background.
All right. Well, taking it from basics, I was born in Jamaica. Okay. Grew up in Porus, to be specific, and attended Manchester High School until third form, and then left for the United States. And from there, finished up at Truman High School, went to college in the city, Baruch, and practiced a little bit as an investment banker, and then shortly thereafter opened up my first restaurant and catering company at the age of 23.
Okay.
And that's when, what we'll talk about later, how the beverage sort of had got its origin.
Okay. So you're just taking it from the money to the food, huh? So you can be able to feed us all. Well, what's happening as we do these shows is we always speak about then the collaboration between our organization, which is the Avatar Foundation, and the Afwi Culture Organization, which is headed then by Miss Antoinette Pitkins. So we have kind of collaborated, and I'm seeing it's kind of in your background, there's collaborations, and you're taking bits and pieces of your background and just kind of honing it into a particular a skill in a business. And we've been doing that in terms of sharing what the multiculturalism is. And this is part of our programming called Carib Gold, which is then a look at Caribbean art and culture through the eyes of Carnival. So if you're thinking about Carnival, all of the festivities, the colors and the clothing, the food, and it's our interpretation of really kind of displaying what the culture is about, which is about the rites, rituals, and traditions of a particular culture. So I want you to kind of take our time and just walk us through, because this is a beautiful site. Walk us through what we have here, what we're going to talk about.
Great, absolutely. No culture in Jamaica celebrates anything, be it christening or Independence Day or just running a boat, without some of the essentials. And we have here mango or Scotch bonnet pepper. If you're cooking anything, they better be Scotch bonnet pepper, and that aroma is very pungent.
Okay.
We have cassava, where everybody just gets the bami from, which is not just germane to Jamaica, but throughout the Latin American countries. We have pear. In America, we call it avocado, and we have a different variation, the Hass, which is very small. And onions, and if you zone in, you'll see some pimento. Pimento you use for spicing up, whether it's stovetop cooking or even your sorrel or beverages, and scallion, of course, and thyme. And then moving right along, this is the heart of it. I'm going to take the viewers today vicariously through certain aspects of the Jamaica food genre. And there are two things I'm going to showcase today: the Narda's ginger punch and some coconut curried mango shrimp with some cassava pancakes.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Topped with some cilantro Narda's ginger punch, honey Dijon sauce.
All right, let me unfasten my jacket so we can get started.
The calories are low, so you can really unfasten your jacket.
All right, very good. Okay. So let's start with, what do you want to start with?
I want to talk about the Narda's ginger punch.
All right.
Which camera? Okay. everyone's talking about ginger.
Right.
You know, ginger ale, ginger snaps, ginger bread, ginger a la Dr. Oz, ginger a la my grandma,
Okay.
and so on and so on. However, I'm here to tell you today that the buck stops with the Narda's Ginger Punch.
All right. Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
And this is the centerpiece
This is
of this whole thing.
the centerpiece, the hallmark.
Mhm.
It's a relatively new beverage. It's something I concocted with my sister over 20 years ago, but it's been refined.
Okay.
And so, hence, relatively new. It's really taken the Caribbean and outside of the Caribbean markets by storm, be it grocery stores or sit-down restaurants
Okay.
in the Jersey area and soon in the New York area. We're planning on being here. What attracts a lot of customers who have brand loyalty to other ginger-based beverage is the fact that we actually use fresh ginger. That's the appeal.
I see.
Our
Okay.
beverage
Okay.
is very low in calorie.
Mhm,
It's not too sweet. It can be served hot and cold, and it's
Okay.
equally appealing. The ingredients are wholesome.
What's in it?
You have organic
without,
sugar.
Without giving any trade secrets.
Oh,
but
absolutely
what's-
not.
what's in-
Just what's represented here in the collage. You have natural organic brown sugar.
Right.
We have orange juice. We have lemon juice. And we have the fresh juiced ginger, as I mentioned.
Okay.
We have filtered water added to the beverage. And that's the heart of it. Now, the slight coloring you see in the container comes from, again, a natural food color, beet. And we're going to do a segue into beet because that's part of the center plate today with the shrimp.
Okay, excellent. You know, I first got introduced to the ginger, interestingly enough, in the Far East, you know, through Korea. And they use ginger in just about everything. And it was just a kind of a major staple or ingredient that's in a lot of their foods and their snacks and all that kind of stuff.
It's amazing because recently there's a lot of hype and good hype about ginger, but we've known, you know, over 3,000 years about its medicinal and therapeutic values. So
Right,
it's really
right.
good that it's come center stage in the U.S.
Okay, okay. So we're gonna move a little bit down this way. and-
Absolutely. Continuing in the vein of the ginger beverage, what's so great about it is it's a flexible beverage. You can have fun with it.
Okay.
I'm going to talk a little bit about what's my favorite.
All right.
My favorite is a concoction made with about 4 ounces of the ginger punch beverage. Okay? Topped with
Oh boy.
fresh watermelon.
All right. Okay.
And it's called the Narda's Ginger Punch Watermelon Splash. Okay? And we
We
put
get
that.
all those ingredients in there, right?
And actually, what's also in there, the little greenery, is fresh mint. It just
I see.
fresh mint, yeah.
So you just
Crushed-
break off a little clove
crushed
and
fresh
crushed.
mint.
I got you. Okay.
And this is something you want to hide under the table, but it's vodka, and 2 ounces of vodka. And I'll tell you, you mix it, and you get that kind of beverage that you covet when it's freezing outdoors and you can't take the plane to go on a vacation to some
Okay.
island. You can make it right in your house.
All right.
Okay, and that's the Narda's Ginger Punch
All right. Okay.
watermelon splash. Okay.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Another beautiful thing about the beverage, and I'm talking about its flexibility, is
Sure.
it's-
Let me just switch over here.
oh, absolutely.
So we can do that.
I think we could do this.
I think we can. If not,
If not, you know what? It can
Let's-
come to us.
Right. There we go. Make it work.
Another beautiful thing about this beverage, same container,
Yes.
consumed cold or just stovetop warm it. And then you can serve it as a tea. It's refreshing.
Okay.
It rivals
Okay.
any cider. Okay? And the good thing about it is once heated, it really separates the distinct flavor, the dominant orange, the dominant ginger, and the dominant lemon. So you feel that you're
Okay.
having 3 teas in one.
3 and 1. All
Yes,
right.
it's really good. It's yummy.
And it's healthy too. Huh? Specifically,
And
all
it's
natural.
healthy, and that's the whole thing. As I introduce the beverage and do taste testings in various restaurants and
Right.
stores, consumers are just really flabbergasted
Okay.
in a positive way about just the presence of real ginger. It's
Wow, okay,
they say it's
okay.
alive, and they finally found a beverage that
Right.
has its integrity. It says ginger on the label, and it packs a
tastes
punch.
like ginger,
No,
and
no
it
punch,
is.
no punch, no pun intended.
No
Yes.
pun intended. Okay.
Yes. Alrighty.
Okay, that's good. So we got the beverages. We have all the ingredients that you're speaking about. A lot of this is really kind of developed in Jamaica, or this is stuff we can just kind of find handily here?
Well, distinctly, the Narda's ginger punch is very distinct to myself. However, ginger is,
It's
prolifically.
universal,
As a
yeah.
matter of fact, the Jamaican ginger is researched and known as the best ginger in terms of potency in
Is
the
it?
world.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay.
It leads China, India,
Right.
Hawaii. Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right. Very good. So listen, in terms of this, I'm just getting it this way. You've had a distinguished background in different fields and different industries.
Yes.
And it seems almost like the ingredients that you just explained to me about what it takes and what the makeup of it is. So, and just in terms of your background, how did you really get from point A to point B? Because in looking back in your profile, it's a very distinguished profile with in the corporate world, in education, and in politics, and as an entrepreneur. What was it that you utilized to just galvanize that experience to put you in the direction in the food and entrepreneurial arena?
Well, it's the love of people, and underpinning that is my faith.
Okay.
I've always been centered, asking God for directions in everything I do.
Okay.
And even when I launched 20 years ago, the Narda's restaurant and catering company, that
what made
was
you do that? I mean,
2 years of corporate was enough for me.
I got you. Okay, yeah, I understand.
It was. The money was great, but my soul was dying. I couldn't
Okay.
be the effervescent, outgoing social
Right,
person that I truly wanted to be. And,
and that's important to be who you are. And be what you wanna
absolutely.
be.
And this is just one expression. And so when I opened the restaurant, months before that, I had talked to my sister, and we had dinner in Brooklyn at her house, and she had a ginger-based beverage, which I thought was really swell. So, when I subsequently opened up the restaurant, I called her. I said, "Judy, what's that beverage again?"
Right,
and
right.
she told me what she put in there, and I tweaked it then, took out some things, added, because it was the ginger that really got me.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
But in terms of background, when I left the restaurant business close to 13 years ago to become a formal educator, which I still am full-time in the East Orange School District, just that thing about empowering, self-empowerment, and empowering other people in the community. Having a heart of compassion is a starting point, but you do need solid dollars.
Right.
And
exactly.
you can get corporate funding. You could do food banks. You could do a lot of stuff that you can donate. But to be the formidable philanthropic person that I want to be, I needed to develop this as a potentially, formidable beverage in the industry, making top dollar, so I can, empower my community people.
And going in that direction as an entrepreneur, what are some of the challenges that you face or you had to overcome in order to really get to what we're going to talk about? Is really launching of a product and putting in a direction that's going to take you globally.
Well, the first thing I'm going to piggyback on is what you said. Is when you introduced me, head cook and bottle washer.
Right. Okay.
That speaks a lot to having a vision and casting it, and having people to come alongside you who believe in it.
Right.
When they're not being paid for it, because anything in its embryonic stage without venture capital dollars require a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Okay.
And again, saying what I said earlier about my faith, and God gives you a vision, and it's in your heart, He is kind enough to bring alongside the people and the resources to make it happen. So
true. Yeah.
Although the challenge now is vis-a-vis the product is attracting trained, spirited, dogged individuals to go out and promote and help with the manufacturing.
Okay.
So that's our new baby for 2012.
That's a wonderful thing, and it kind of fits the mold that we are in terms of as we begin to celebrate 50 years of independence. There's a certain freedom in there, and it's freedom to do what you make that decision in terms of what. But it's a very interesting approach because we've been featuring different components and elements of the Caribbean traditions and the cultures. And obviously, in order to understand the culture, you must understand some of the foods.
Absolutely.
Anything we're going to taste on here as we go
yes,
forward?
absolutely. I want to then introduce what I have here today. When you think of cassava, yuca, in this country is called, people think, especially Jamaicans, bami. Well, I'm not talking bami today.
Yeah, okay.
It has a flair. We're elevating it. We're talking about cassava pancakes. And what you do, you start with however many pounds that you want to, depending on how many people you're feeding. It could be just yourself. You boil it, peel it, and boil it for about 20 minutes until it's soft.
Okay.
And what you just want to do is add in some sweet, salted butter with some scallion. Okay.
Yes.
Simple as that. And then you add a sprinkle of salt, not too much because the butter is already salted.
I got you. Okay.
And black pepper works
Is this
magic.
like a sea salt or is it just
It's
regular?
sea salt. Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And just fold it in, just like you're kneading dumpling. It folds in nicely. You just keep mashing it until it becomes that consistency, like when you're making dumpling. You ever do that gooey dumpling?
Absolutely.
So you can actually, it becomes malleable, and you could shape the pancakes you want.
Okay.
You can make dog face, cat face, whatever it is. I'm a cat lover, so.
Right.
But just keep folding that in, and for the sake of time, we're just going to move forward a little bit.
Right. Right.
Once that's done, do not, and I tell people because high blood pressure, cholesterol, we watch it.
Need to.
We need to. So
right.
I don't advise deep frying this.
I see. Okay.
What you do is get a skillet and just generously grease it.
I see.
And just fold it in and put it
some
on
of it's kind of glazed almost.
Just glaze it and put it on until it becomes a golden brown. And you don't have to stay there all day because it's already cooked. You just want to achieve a nice golden brown. And I love playing with sauces.
Okay.
And one thing I discovered that really goes well with cassava pancake is a bit of mustard.
All right. Any particular kind? There's a certain one that generates a certain flavor?
Just your deli mustard.
Okay.
Typical tabletop deli mustard.
Okay.
Cilantro.
Okay.
Which is pungent. I tell you, cilantro is one of those herbs that bring out the zest in a lot of foods.
That's it.
Yes, it does. And Narda's ginger punch again. It's popping up again, Dillard.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. I use it as a base, and I reduce it. I use a creamy version of the mustard,
right?
Because it thickens quickly. Chopped fine, or you could blend it, so it doesn't become big chunks of cilantro, and we end up with a sauce, which you'll get to taste later. Okay. So this is called the Narda's ginger punch cilantro ginger mustard sauce.
Okay.
And we pour that generously over or scallion pancakes. Okay.
Wow, that's interesting.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Okay.
So we got about like 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. What we're there, and this is kind of
the finished product, so to speak. We have here curried shrimp.
Okay.
And basically, if you're starting out with, let's say, a pound of peeled deveined shrimp, wash it thoroughly with some lemon, salt, black pepper, your different color peppers, chopped garlic, salt, black pepper, little pieces of ginger.
Right.
You heat a saucepan and pour in about a tablespoon of coconut oil.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Pour the curry in and let it burn for a minute.
Right,
okay.
Look at that, huh?
And burn for a minute, and then you add all the other seasoning. Add a cup of water and let it sort of thicken slowly. The trick is not to put the shrimp in to cook while you're creating the sauce. Create the sauce, let it come to a thick boiling state, then add the shrimp in, and cover the pan for about 3 to 4 minutes. Never overcook shrimp. What we also have, this is the cassava pancakes.
The actual pancakes.
This is the actual cassava pancakes we talked about back here. These are beets. You know, I wanted to really feature the beets as the vegetable of the day. Beet is very, very high in sucrose, actually,
Okay.
the highest in terms of the vegetables. And back home in Jamaica, we would add the beet to the carrot juice. It's tradition,
Okay.
and Mom always did that. But I wanted to spend a little bit more time elevating because it's very nutritious. This is pickled beet. All I did was added some water and vinegar boiled with a little bit of agave for sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
Add the beets
Okay.
and just bring to a boil and let it sort of soften a bit and put it in the refrigerator, chill, and serve
Serve, huh?
cold. Yes.
Well, this is nice. It's like it's I guess high in protein and low in calories.
Low in calories.
That's the
Very
real
nice.
deal,
Very
huh?
neat.
Looks like a very
And then
nice.
this is what we're talking about.
Mhm.
This one goes with that. Ah, there we go.
Just slip that over.
There we go. Okay?
Oh, okay.
And that you have a complete meal. And again, it's not complete without. Don't
Not the-
forget, this is what completes the meal.
All right.
Narda's ginger punch.
Ginger punch with the special ingredient. With the special ingredient.
With a special ingredient.
That's a wonderful thing. Well, listen, this has been an education unto itself, no doubt. And, it looks fairly simple in terms of the ingredients needed and the time required to kind of prepare some of that. I mean, how long do you think you can whip something like this together? What kind of time frame?
About an hour for that.
About an hour?
About an hour for, because certain things can cook simultaneously.
Right,
The beets can
right.
go on while about an hour.
Oh, okay.
Fine.
Well, listen, if people want to get in touch with you,
Yes.
where do they go? Do you have a website that you want to share with our audience?
We do have a website and we have a telephone number.
Okay, let's give it to us. Share it with us.
The website is Narda's Ginger Punch, no apostrophe S, nardasgingerpunch.com, www.nardasgingerpunch.com, or you can call us at 973-953-3655. Again,
Let's give it to them again.
yeah.
So
Again, you can
there's no
contact.
pauses.
Yeah, you can contact us by phone at 973-953-3655.
Excellent. Well, listen, you've gotten really kind of exposed to a nice, light kind of a meal that seems to be very, very wholesome, and certainly done an expression of all of the cultural mix. So this is something that can probably originated in Jamaica, but really kind of came across the Atlantic and prepared on our tables right here in this country. And we have a fantastic chef and a person who has taken these ingredients and prepared something very wholesome. Now, and I just want to kind of close with talking about this product again. Just give us a little kind of a quick blurb on Narda's
Ginger Punch.
The ginger punch.
Non-alcoholic, made with wholesome ingredients.
I see.
Okay, priced competitively.
All right.
Okay, it's made with orange juice, lemon juice, filtered water, good organic raw sugar cane. Available in the 16-ounce bottles.
All right.
All right.
Be sure to get this, folks. Be sure to taste this. This is wonderful stuff. Okay.
With fresh ginger.
With
That's
fresh
the calling
ginger.
card.
All right.
With fresh ginger juice.
Well, I want to kind of close out our segment, Nada, and thank you very, very much for coming.
Thank you. It's been
and
my pleasure.
preparing all of this for us and going through all of the trials and tribulations of getting here. We're very, very much appreciative for you for that. And we want to just kind of speak to our audience is that, excuse me, take a look at what it is that's being offered and look at what the Avatar Foundation and Afwi Culture Organization is bringing to you within this one-year celebration of the 50th independence of Jamaica as well as in Trinidad. And we have a very flavorful presentation that's here because our approach is to do it through the image of carnival. So there's food, there's color, there's taste, there's spices, and there's culture of all kinds being mixed into the bowl and stirred up, and we have this kind of a celebration. This is what we're trying to present to the people of the world. So with that, we want to begin to sign off and thank our guest, Ms. Marcia Morant. And also say that if you want more information, go to the avatarfoundation.org website. And we can also be reached at 914-664-7970. And in parting, we always share with you about the dream. The dream is in the mind of the believer and in the hands of the doer. and you're not given that dream without being given the power to make it happen. So we're going to sign off now. We thank you very much for coming again. God bless, and we'll see you next time around.